Hey guys, so we are behind the scenes of me recording my virtual speaking podcast. Today is Sunday morning. It is about 7:26 in the morning. I've been up since about 6:30, just kind of getting myself together. But I'm going to go through the show. I do a video and also the vocal, of course, for my podcast, but I also do the video for YouTube. So I wanted to give you guys some behind the scenes footage in terms of how I make this happen. I have two tripods. I have one with my ring light, of course, and then I have my iPad where I actually record for YouTube, and then of course I have my microphone here, and I have my laptop, which is here on my desk, but you guys can't see. I like to make sure that I keep that out of frame. But the key to me recording my podcast is to make sure that I'm centered in this, because this can be off sometimes. I want to make sure that I'm centered, and I think we finally got centered there. And I always got to remember where the camera is. The camera is like to the right this time. So I have to make sure that I pay attention in terms of where I'm looking at for the camera. But right now I'm gonna record an intro. So I do an intro, I do an outro, I do tooltips, and then I do, of course, the podcast itself. So there's 3 different sections that's gonna happen for this podcast. Let me put it on video. As a video. I try to make sure I'm not sweating too much. If I am, I try to get like a little thing. A little black patches to take away all the excess oil on my face. I'm not like a guru when it comes to makeup, but I do my best. I try to make sure it looks clean on camera, and right now it does. And let's get started. Kind of got cut off because I think my shutter is connected to this one. I got to cut this off of Bluetooth. Yeah, and we should be good there. I gotta make sure it's connected to this one. Yes, it is. So that way now it got cut off for some reason, but we're back and we're gonna get the intro. Today we're talking about Instagram engagement, how to boost your engagement on Instagram. All right. Hey everyone, welcome to the Slay at Home podcast. And it wasn't recording. And it's not Slay at Home, it's virtually speaking. Okay. Let's get this done one more time. Hey everyone, welcome to the Virtually Speaking podcast with me, Shani Sanders. Today we're talking about how you can boost your engagement on Instagram. I have talked about this before in previous ones, but today we're gonna deep dive into it. So let's go. I think I need to record that over. So I'm gonna play it back so I can hear it, which I think I really do need to re-record. Hey everyone, welcome to the Virtually Speaking podcast with me, Shani Sanders. Today we're talking about how you can boost your engagement on Instagram. I have talked about this before in previous ones, but today we're gonna deep dive into it. So let's go. Yeah, we're gonna re-record that. We're gonna get rid of this and we're gonna record it over. Let's go to record. Hey everyone, welcome to the Virtually Speaking podcast with me, Shani Sanders. Today we're talking about how to boost your engagement on Instagram. It is probably one of the things that we most want to do as Instagram account businesses and brands. We want to always know how to boost our engagement, have our audience a lot more engaged. So that's what we're talking about today. Let's tune in. We'll see. Let's see. Let me play back the video. We're talking about how to boost your engagement on Instagram. It is probably one of the things that we most want to do as Instagram account businesses and brands. We want to always know how to boost our engagement, have our audience a lot more engaged. So that's what we talk about today. Let's tune in. Hey everyone, welcome to the Virtual Speaking Podcast with me, Shani Sanders.
Okay,
Today
I think I like that one.
How to
That's not
boost
bad.
our engagement on Instagram. It is probably one of the things that we most want to do.
Okay, so that's good. Let's go back to the camera. And then I like to record my outro, like first thing as well. So I need to label this intro for boost engagement. Okay, I just want to make sure I label that. And now I'm going to go ahead and record the outro. I like to do that fairly quickly and get that out the way. And then I think I'll do the podcast itself. And then I will come back in and we'll do the tooltips. And I don't know about you, but right now my podcasts are not really that long. I don't do over 30 minutes, I think, if that. I'm a kind of person where my attention span is short, so I can't listen to nothing too long. So I fairly try to give, very short and quick podcast, something that you can get, obtain information really quickly, have it useful, and really try to use it. But we are going to go ahead and record the outro. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on the Virtual Speaking Podcast. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll have a new show, of course, talk about something completely different. I don't know what yet, but I will definitely let you guys know. But you guys have a great day. I think I'm going to re-record that too. You can just play it back here.
Much for hanging out with me on the Virtual Speaking Podcast. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll have a new show, of course, talk about something completely different. I don't know what yet, but I will definitely let you guys know. But you guys have a great day.
I want to remind them that make sure you check back here Tuesday.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me on the Virtual Speaking Podcast.
So we're going to re-record
Make sure
that.
you tune in next week. We'll have a new show, of course.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me for the Virtual Speaking Podcast. Make sure to tune in next Tuesday where we give you a new show, give you information that will really help you build your business and grow your brand online. So thank you guys so much and we'll see you next week. Did we do that? All right, everyone, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on the Virtual Speaking Podcast. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll have a new show, of course, talk about something completely different. I don't know what yet, but I will definitely let you guys know. But you guys have a great day. Yeah, I'm going to re-record the audio because my video recorded here, but the audio didn't record.
Make sure to tune in next Tuesday where we give you a new show, give you information that will really help you build your business and grow your brand online. So thank you guys so much and we'll see you next week.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in with the Virtual Speaking Podcast. I want to let you guys know that I messed that one up. Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me with the Virtual Speaking Podcast. Make sure you check back next Tuesday where we'll give you a new show to help you grow your business or your brand online. We'll see you next week. So I need to re-record my outro for YouTube because I always want to make sure that people hit the subscribe button and you want to make sure that they hit the notification button so they'll know to subscribe to your channel and also get notified when you put up new episodes. Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me with the Virtual Speaking Podcast. Make sure you check back next Tuesday where we'll give you a new show to help you grow your business or your brand online. We'll see you next week. All right, I'm good with the outro for that. This is what it takes to get your podcast recorded. Okay. I'm going to re-record the outro just for YouTube. Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me with the Virtuous Speaking Podcast. Make sure you tune in next Tuesday as we give you more tips, hacks, tools, and advice on how to grow your business and your brand online. Make sure you hit that subscribe notification so you can subscribe to the channel to get all my new videos, and also hit the notification button so when I do upload new videos, which I do very often, you will definitely be notified. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and we'll see you next week. Like that better. With the Virtuous Speaking Podcast. Make sure you tune in next Tuesday as we give you more tips, hacks, tools, and advice on how to grow your business and your brand online. Make sure you hit that subscribe notification so you can subscribe to the channel to get all my new videos, and also hit the notification button so when I do upload new videos, which I do very often, you will definitely be notified. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. We'll see you next week. Perfect. Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me with the Virtuous Speaking. Perfect. Now, let's get the podcast done. So I can either do my podcast right now, or I could do the tool tips. So my tool tips today is 5 tips on how to boost your engagement. Post consistently. In order to boost engagement, you want to post consistently. You want to show up on Instagram. You got to give people something to come back to your page for. Tip number 2, post consistently. Connect and respond. Comment and respond. View other people's Instagram stories. Engage with their pages. Number 4, post shareable content. Shareable content is quotes that motivate people, educational content, content to that someone else will feel like someone else needs to know. That's shareable content. Ask for engagement. How else are they going to know if you don't ask? Okay. Post consistently. Comment on other people's posts. This is all about engagement. If you want engagement, you have to engage. Comment on other people's posts. Respond to people who comment on your post. So the tip number 2 is to comment and respond. Tip number 3, view other people's Instagram stories, Instagram reels, and interact with those reels. Tip number 3, interact with interact with other people, Instagram stories and reels. You want to make sure you comment, you leave emojis just to let them know that, hey, I'm here, I'm seeing what you're doing, and I liked it, and I like what you're doing. Tip number 4, post shareable content. You need content that is going to be shareable. That's how you get engagement. People want to save your content. People want to share with other people. That's how you do it. Tip number 5, ask for engagement. There's nothing wrong with asking for engagement. Okay. Okay. Just practicing on how I can get it so I can remember those and not have to look down at my paper every time I need to do it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go ahead and record the podcast and try to get that out the way, and then I'll do the tool tips last. And then when I'm done with everything, I send it over to my my production guy that I hire off of Fiverr. Okay, it works. I don't like to do the production piece of it and putting it all together, adding the music, cutting, adding text, and all that kind of stuff. So I just send it out to a guy, and he puts it all together for me. I've been working with him. He's really, really good. And so I'm grateful to have him. So he takes care of all of that piece. And when he sends it back to me, it's all packaged and ready to go. All I have to do is just add thumbnails, and it's on the channel. Remember, work smarter, not harder. That's the key. Okay.
All right, guys, we are talking about how to boost your engagement on Instagram, how to get people to want to engage more with your content, to want to share your content, to respond to your content. And the way you do that is, I said it before, you engage. If you want people to engage with your content, you have to engage their content. But there are some things you can do to boost your engagement. If you're just on social media and you're just posting pictures of yourself and you're not really giving really good captions to go with those pictures, then you're not going to get the response that you're looking for. You're not going to get the engagement that you're looking for. In order for people to engage with your posts, you have to share something of value to them. And I know we hear that word all the time. What's value? Oh, share something of value. Share something of value. What is that? Well, whatever resonates with your audience, what you believe is valuable. When you think about yourself, what do you think is valuable to you? What do you want to save? What do you want to share? What do you want to see? You know, when you go on Instagram, what kind of content do you like? And if you like a certain content and you will share certain content, then that's the type of content that you want your followers and your audience to engage with. And that's the kind of content that they're going to engage with. That's just the way it works. So if there's quotes work really, really well when it comes to boosting engagement because people love to be inspired. We're all here on a journey. We're all dealing with life. You know, COVID, pre-COVID, we're kind of coming out of that isolation stage. So people are looking for ways to be motivated. And quotes really help people in that way. They really resonate with people. I know I can come to someone's page and all of a sudden I read a quote and it kind of directly speaks to whatever I'm going through at that moment. And I look and I say, wow, that resonates with me. I'm going to share this on my page. I'm going to share this with some friends. And once people start to do that, then those people, those friends would then come over to your page because there's like, hey, I like this quote. I want more stuff like this. And if this person is doing that, then I'm going to follow them and I'm going to save their content and I'm going to share it with my friends. And that's how you begin to boost your engagement. You know, they talk about content that is shared. When we say shareable, we're talking about quotes, okay? And then we talk about educational content. Like, what can I learn from this person that I don't know? What kind of tips, what kind of hacks, what do they do that can make my life better? Because the key here is that I want to work smarter. I want to be better organized. I don't want to work hard at it because I want to have more time for the things that matter most to me. So you think about educational content. What can you educate people on? What do you know that you do well? And I know a lot of times we look at social media and we say to ourselves, hey, everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's talking about how to do social media tips and hacks and tools. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's talking about Canva. But guess what? That's because there is a need for it. They talk about it because people want it. So it doesn't matter how many people talk about it. There is still room for you to talk about it. There are things that you know that other people don't know. Because even when I started, I thought to myself, hey, if I start to do the whole Instagram tips, social media marketing, building your brand and business, is anybody going to listen to me? I don't have a huge following right now, but yet I do have a very hyper engaged audience, but is this the information they want to hear from me? Would they consider me to be a social media guru? And because what people don't know about me is that I've been in the marketing and PR field for over 25 plus years. So I know how to build brands. I work with brands like Payless. I work with brands like Kroger. I work with very large brands before. And so I know what it takes to build a brand. And so I said to myself, hey, I do have something to share. I have something people want to hear, and I'm going to give that to them. I'm on this journey. I'm learning new tricks and new tips every day, and I want to share that content with people. So I began to switch out some of my content to not just be about outfits of the day and not just about fashion, but it's about my family. It's about my educational pieces that I want to give people to learn, so they'll know that, hey, you can do these simple things just to boost your engagement. You do these simple things to, rebrand your Instagram account. So that's what I decided to do. Even though it's in a market where everybody is doing it, I still decided that, hey, you know what? There's still audience out there that want to listen to me, and that probably are in the same position that I am right now with building my brand or building a brand on social media, building your business. And they probably like, hey, I want to filter through some of these people and find the person that really resonates with me. So that's why I'm saying to you, listen, you have content that someone can learn from. I don't care what it is. I follow people who do the DIY hacks, and I love them. And there's a lot of them that do it. But I still look at all of their pages because they all have different hacks. Some of them do the same thing, but some of them do something different. So educational piece is really huge. And it's so funny how Instagram has really changed into becoming more of a place where you're learning things. You know, normally we will go to YouTube to learn something, or Facebook maybe, but Instagram has really changed their look, their feel, how they want people to use their app, or how they want people to use the features that they have. So becoming educational, like we're gonna get into a whole episode about Reels and how Reels really help support and boost engagement. That's a really big piece of it. And stories is a big piece of boosting your engagement. You want to, maybe post your stories daily, just to give people a glimpse at you, a glimpse of behind the scenes. You want to go live sometimes, just so people can see the live person behind the pictures and the reels and all those different things, to know that you go through things, you struggle just like they do. People love connecting to your story. So whatever your story is for coming on Instagram, building your business, building your brand, whatever your struggles been, whatever your victories have been, whatever your failures have been, that stuff resonate with people, because we connect to people. We don't connect to Instagram. We connect to you. We connect to what your story is. We engage with you because you are just like me. And because of that, I'm going to engage with your posts because you go through the same things I go through. And I realize that I'm not by myself. I'm not by myself. I'm learning new things. I'm growing in different areas. But when I come on Instagram and I see other people who are struggling in certain areas, who have won in certain areas that I'm trying to win in, then I'm like, hey, this stuff resonates with me. I'm going to follow this person. I'm going to follow their journey. I'm going to comment on their posts. I'm going to look at their stories. I'm going to look at their reels, because they are a mirror to who I am. And I mean that in terms of, like, just like I said, the things that they go through. So that's the kind of content that gets people to engage with you. When you authentically are yourself and you're able to post your story and not be afraid of how people are going to feel about you. People are going to have opinions no matter what. But when you are authentically yourself, no one can tear you down from that. That's a couple of ways that you can boost engagement. It's really about providing something of value. And when I say value, again, I want to let you know I'm talking about something that people can learn from, something that people can connect with, on the emotional piece or just on your journey. And I'm talking about stuff that people are just think is funny. Like, we must realize too, life doesn't always have to be so serious. We can post something that's just purely entertaining and it's going to get so much engagement. Like, I look at stuff on Reels that is just so funny. And I'm engaging and I'm liking, I'm reading other comments, because the comments is where it's at. The comments is where all the meat and potato lives. And so people get into the comments, and sometimes it's really funny. And they talk about whatever video they're seeing. And it's just really, people are very creative when it comes to social media and when it comes to being on Reels. So I would tell you to step out of your box, be yourself. Don't let no one put you in this thing where you have to be a certain way on Instagram, that you always have to look picture perfect, because we are not picture perfect people. We are flawed people. We have flaws and we will always have them. So be authentically yourself and let people see that about you. It doesn't have to always be about you being made up and looking great in this perfect picture, because nobody's life is perfect. And that's what get people to resonate. I'm telling you, if you really want and boost your engagement, if you really want people to come over and interact with your content, if you really want to build whatever brand that is that you're building, no matter what, people will connect with your story. People will connect with who you are and how you got to where you are. And you always want to be able to share that. People will connect with quotes that resonate or just speaks to a moment that they're going through in their life that they're going through. And you want to be able to share that stuff. Whatever quotes that you scroll through Instagram and they resonate with you, you should reshare those. I reshare quotes on my stories all the time. I tag the person who actually the quote came from, because you want to definitely give those people credit for posting that. Or either I just post my own quotes that resonate with me on my page, and look at your metrics and see how your content is really performing with your audience. Well, if you see that the quotes that you post get the most comments, get the most likes, get the most shares, you want to do more of that. If you see the content that you post when it comes to teaching someone something gets more likes and shares than your quotes, or more likes and shares and saves than your outfit of the day, then do more content that way. Your audience is talking to you. When they like something, when they comment on something, they're telling you, hey, do more of this because this is what I like. And that's what you want to do. You want to always listen to your audience, and you want to give them what resonates with them. If they like the shareable content, If they like the teaching content, that is, then give them more teaching things. If they like the quotes, give them more quotes. You know, we want to learn, we want to be inspired, we want to be loved, we want to be appreciated. So you want to share content that really resonates with your audience. You want to entertain them and let them know that you're not serious all the time, that you can do some funny things. You can do some of the funny challenges on Reels. I'm not saying you got to be a dancer because it's hard for me to catch on to those routines, although I try. It's hard, but just do what really makes you happy. And that's what this is about. It's about you doing what makes you happy and what resonates with you, that will resonate with your audience. That's how you boost engagement. So just remember that the true way to boost engagement over everything that I say and over everything that you may have heard anyone else say, it is to just be yourself. And I know sometimes that is hard to do when you're on a visual platform that demands you to show your face, to show your body, to show who you are, to show your quirkiness, the weird things about you, or just the uncomfortable things that you don't want people to see. It's okay. We are all right there with you. We are all flawed. We are not perfect. No one is perfect. Everyone's body is beautiful. Every body type should be seen and should be celebrated. There's no one body type that is the best out there. Remember that body positivity is so important, especially with us as women, and especially when you're on a visual platform like this. And if you're looking for engagement and you want to take pictures of yourself and you're saying to yourself, should I do this? I'm not in the best shape right now. I want to drop some weight, or I'm not just feeling good about my body overall. Remember that you're beautiful just the way you are. Just the way you are. And there are other women out there that are just like you, that are looking for someone to step out there and be like, I'm bold and I'm beautiful, and no matter what it is. So be authentically yourself. Don't let nothing stop you. This is how you get engagement. Be yourself. Be who you are. Be confident in the pictures you take. Post them. Be confident in whatever captions you write. The quotes that you post them. And it doesn't matter if you're not getting the likes and the shares right away. Remember, progress is slow, but you have to be in it for the long haul. You have to understand that nothing comes overnight, but if you continue to post consistently, if you continue to engage with other people's accounts, if you continue to show up on Reels, if you continue to show up on stories, you will get the engagement you want and you will grow. That's what this is all about. You are going to grow. But overall, like I said, be authentically yourself. Don't come out on social media being somebody that you are not, because that will get tiring. That will get tiring, and it's just too much of a burden to carry. And you don't need to do that, because you're perfect just the way you are. You have something to give people. People want to interact with you. You just have to give them what you have for them to do it. So I hope you guys really got something out of this. And remember that in order to boost your engagement on Instagram, you can look through all the tips and the hacks you want. Overall, it comes down to being authentically yourself. Sharing who you are with people so people can connect with you. You have something to say. You have something that people want to hear. So just make sure you just do it. Don't think about it. Don't overthink it. Just do it. So I really hope this really helps you guys today to really boost your engagement, because I know you can do it. And like I said, drop me comments below. Let me know if you are really taking off with these keys that I'm giving you and just using and implementing these in your strategy to build your business or your brand online. All right, guys, coming up next, we have the tool tips, so stay tuned. That's the podcast. I know you guys are recording in the background, but right now I am going to record my tool tips. And so with the podcast, listen, it's a podcast. You talk, you're just talking. No, there's no perfect way to doing a podcast. You just got to do it. That's just it. There's no perfect way. Just do it. Enjoy it. Do it. Post it. Put it out there. People are going to look at it. That's just it. So I'm going to, in my software, so for my podcast, I use Anchor by Spotify, which is the easiest thing to use. It's all recorded. You can piece it all together. It's simple. They have music transitions. You can even take music from Spotify itself to add to your show. It's really, really up to you. But I found it to be the easiest thing to use when it comes to creating my podcast. I used to do a podcast a long time ago. For those who don't know, I used to do radio and TV. I was on Sirius Satellite Radio for
over, I don't know, 4 years into entertainment news with Series 50, Hot Jams. And so I'm very used to being on air and doing stuff like this. It comes very natural for me. It's just been a while since I've been into it, but it feels really good to be back in doing my podcast, doing radio again. So I tell people all the time when they want to know how to do podcasts, like, hey, be yourself. It's a conversation that you're having like with a friend. It's just you talking, but you're talking to your friend. And you always want to make sure you're talking to one person, not everybody. Because, you want to make people feel like it's just you and them and they're connecting with you. So that's really how I do my podcast. I just do it. I don't think about it. I come up with my topics and I just get it done. And that's just it. You got to just do it. So now I'm going to get the tooltips recorded for YouTube and also on Anchor. But Anchor is really good to use. I advise anyone to use them. I used to use a thing called Blog Talk Radio, and they're still around. And Blog Talk Radio is a lot more live. So you actually have time slots where you actually have to go on and do your podcast. It's not recorded, it's live. So if you do that, do that. I haven't did them in a long time because I found Anchor and I felt like Anchor was just, just a little easier to do. Because you can record your shows weeks in advance. You don't necessarily have to wait around, for your time slot and make sure that the place is quiet to do it. I like Anchor because I can get up early like this on a Sunday morning and get it done. That's how I like to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna record 2 tips. One, I have to make sure I know what these 2 tips are. And so I'm gonna need this screen over here to come on. So I'm actually on my desk and any mistakes that I make, I can easily get him to just, hey, edit out all the mistakes, but it's the comment. The 2 tips of today is 5 tips. It's 5 tips on how to boost your engagement. 1, post consistently. Show up on Instagram. That's number 1. You got to show up if you want them to show up, you have to show up. Number 2, comment and respond. Comment on other people's posts. Comment on other people's pictures. That's the way you do it. When someone comment on your post, make sure you respond to them. Give that engagement. That's engagement. When you comment on their post, they comment on your post, you have to respond to them. So comment and respond. Number 3, view their Instagram stories and reels and interact with those. Interact with Instagram. Interact with other people's Instagram stories and reels. Interact. That's the way you get it. Leave emojis, leave hearts, do whatever you got to do. Number 4 is post shareable content. Things to share. We just talked about this in the podcast. What you share is quotes, tips, advice, hacks, and even entertainment posts. And number 5 is ask for engagement. Put a question in your caption and say, hey, leave me a comment below if you guys like this. That's just that simple. All right. So I think I'm going to do this separately. Like I want to do the 2 tips for the podcast first because I can just read those. And then I'm going to do it from Instagram separately. So let's just go ahead and do them for the podcast. All right, guys, we are back, and now we're going to give you the 2 tips of today. So here are 5 tool tips to help you boost your engagement on Instagram. Number 1, post consistently. Do not post and ghost. You have to show up if you want people to show up for you. So make sure you post consistently. Number 2, comment and respond. Comment on other people's posts. Respond when someone comments on your post. That is engagement. Number 3, view other people's stories and reels, and then leave comments, leave interactions, leave things that are going to make them look at your page and be like, hey, that person left me something. Let me go over to them. Number 4, post shareable content. We talk about shareable content because shareable content is quotes. It's something you can learn. It's something people can send to others. It's even entertaining posts. Number 5, ask for engagement. How else are you going to get it?
When you do your captions, leave a question at the bottom. That's a call to action. Remember CTAs. Say, hey, drop me a heart emoji. Post this or share this if it resonates with you and you can share with a friend. Those are the things that are going to get your engagement. So those are the 5 tool tips of today that will help you boost your engagement on Instagram. I really hope these help. See you later. All right, now I got to do the video for it. I'll wait till he's gone. Post consistently, comment and share. Number 3, view others' stories and reels. Number 4, post shareable content. Number 5, ask for engagement. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to do the piece for YouTube. That was just the audio for the podcast. So the podcast itself is done. All I have to do is piece that together. But now I'm going to do 2 tips for YouTube and get that recorded. All right. All right, guys, we are back, and here are 5 tool tips to help you boost engagement. Tip number 1, post consistently. You don't want to post and ghost. You want to show up on Instagram and make sure you post. If you want them to engage with you, you have to show up. Tip number 2, comment and respond. If someone comments on your page, make sure you respond to them. That's engagement. Go comment on their page. So that way now you have a 2-way communication going on. Tip number 3, view their stories and reels. View stories and reels of other people accounts and interact with those stories and reels. Leave emojis, leave comments, because once you do that, people will then come over to your account and start interacting with you. Tip number 4, use shareable content. Create shareable content. That is what this is about. We talked about this in the podcast. We're talking about quotes. We're talking about something that they can learn from, and we talk about something that is entertaining. That's shareable content. Tip number 5 is to ask for engagement. I know it sounds crazy, but you need to ask for it. When you do your captions, give a question at the bottom. Say, hey, share this. Hey, save this so you can come back later and read it. Share it with a friend or share it with a family member. Leave a comment. Ask for engagement. That is nothing wrong with that. It is the simplest way of getting engagement is to ask for it. So that's your 5 tool tips of the day. I really hope those help you out. Tune in next week and I give you more tips on how to grow your Instagram account. I think I need to re-record that. Number 1, post consistently. You don't want to post and ghost. You want to show up on Instagram and make sure you post. If you want them to engage with you, you have to show up. Tip number 2, comment and respond. If someone comments on your page, make sure you respond to them. That's engagement. Go comment on their page. So that way now you have a 2-way communication going on. Tip number 3, view their stories and reels. View stories and reels of other people's accounts and interact with those stories and reels. Leave emojis, leave comments, because once you do that, people will then come over to your account and start interacting with you. Tip number 4. So that's it for me, guys. This is how I put together my podcast. Hopefully this behind the scenes video really helps. I think it's turned out pretty good. Listen to it right now, but I'm going to view it. I'm going to make some changes that need to be made. But overall, this is how I do it. This is a 1-person podcast team. And this is just how I get it done. So I hope you guys can learn something from it. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, please drop comments below and I'll answer any questions you have. And yes, eventually I'm going to do a series on my podcast on how to actually start a podcast, on how to actually talk on radio, because I think that's one of the biggest things that people get hung up on is how do they sound on radio? How do you just make it conversational? How do you talk on a podcast? You don't want to sound like you're reading. You don't want to sound nervous. You want to sound comfortable. You want to sound like you know what you're doing. You want to sound like you're talking to one of your girlfriends, one of your boyfriend, or your mom, your sister, whoever it is. You want to make it seem very comfortable, but this is how I do it. It's fun for me. It's easy for me because, like I said, I've been in radio for a very long time. I've done this before. I've done voiceovers before as well, but this is fun for me and this is easy. So it feels good to be back in this arena again, and I'm excited about it. So listen, I hope you guys have a great day. And listen, you want more behind the scenes, make sure you come back to the channel, hit that subscribe button, as I always say, so you can know when I post new videos, new behind the scene videos, new videos on you to help you grow your account or your business, or just videos of me and the family just doing stuff, you know, just doing what we do, being the Sanders that we are. And make sure you hit the notification bell, so that way when I do post something, you know exactly when it's done. And you can go over to the channel and watch it. You'll be the first one to know. So post, hit the notification. But thank you guys. I'll see you guys later.